Hey guys, welcome back again. Today in this video we are going to understand about the pivot point of HTML elements. Yes, you have heard correctly that we are going to discuss about the pivot point of HTML elements. Now, if you don't know what is pivot point in normal definition, then for you I am having this definition from Wikipedia, which is saying that a pivot point, the center point of any rotational system, such as a lever system, the center of percussion of a rigid body. So this is kind of a definition from physics and in normal world, but in HTML elements we are also having the concept of pivot points, which most of the developers may not know. So here's the right time to understand about that thing. Now let me discuss or explain you what is pivot point in HTML before we get into the coding. Now assume this bordered area is our screen, or you can assume it as our parent container or parent element, which is basically going to be the body element if we are seeing it in our browser. And in this body element we are having one div, which is uh, x is 0 or y is 0. So x means the left side of this element is 0 and y is 0. Now to understand this xy, I will take you to your school time mathematics, which is like this. When we used to do something graphs or charts in our mathematics or some other science books, you have probably find out that this axis is the x-axis and the center is 0. The coordinate of the center is 0 comma 0, and the right side of the center is positive x and the left side is negative x, and similarly for the y, for the top side is positive y and the bottom is negative y. Now assume, now in our HTML, this is what happens. This particular position is our viewport where x is 0 and y is 0, but instead of having y in negative, we are providing this y as in positive value. Now let's go to the next slide, and here as you can see, if we are having this positive x, that means if I provide some left value to positive, it will move towards right, and if we provide some y value or top value, it will move towards this downward. So that is the kind of concept over here. Now let me show you how this moves. Now here the y is like 20 pixel from top and x is 20 pixel from this left, but what is basically moving is the entire div moving or some point is moving, and according to that point the entire div is being calculated. So in this case the point is going to be this top left corner, because this y value is not in this corner, it is in this top left corner. That's why if you provide some value top or left to any element, it moves from that corner as it is moving from this corner. Alright guys, so that's it about the concept of pivot point in HTML. Now let's go back to our coding and we'll see how this is working in our HTML. And before we get into our coding, what I will tell you is that we can change this pivot point from top left to any other corner, like top right, top bottom, right bottom or left bottom, or also in center. So that is what we are going to understand today. Now let's go back to our coding and let's do some experiment on this topic. In last class, what we had learned about is the positionings of HTML elements. Now, yes, so now in this class, what we are going to learn about something more interesting, which you may have not you may have not you may have not heard about it before, but this is also an important part in front-end technology. If you want to be a good front-end developer, or so-called UI developer, something like that, but you should have this kind of knowledges and ideas so that you can expand your way of coding. So what we are going to learn as so let me first open up the browser and let's see what we did in last class. So I'll simply go to my code editor, and here I want to reveal in file explorer so that I'll get to the exact location of my files, which is this front-end technology folder under this free learning classes. And I'm going to open this file in a browser. So as you can see, there are three different color divs which are basically red, green and blue. And in today's class what we are going to understand that we can change the pivot point of this entire element. What is pivot point? So if you are seeing in my screen, you can easily tell me that this point is 0, 0.0 or 0, 0, which is the xy coordinate. So similarly, every element which is rendering inside this screen is also having the same kind of concept. The pivot points start from the top left corner, which is basically 0, 0. So what happens if I inspect this element and try to increase the width of this element? So right now if I am increasing the width, it is always increasing towards the left side. But what if I want to increase the width towards the right, towards the opposite direction? So it is increasing from the left to right side. And what if we want to increase the width from right to left? So for that we need to change this pivot point to the opposite side. Even if you want to increase the width from the center, like if I'm increasing width like 20 pixels, so it should increase from both the sides, like 10 pixel to left and 10 pixel to right. So here the concept comes of changing the origin points or the pivot points, whatever you can call it. So we'll understand and we'll learn about that stuff in this class. So let's go back to our Visual Studio Code, and I'll create a separate file over here, and here I'll provide the name like origins of elements .html. Now I will take this shortcut to create this HTML template, and here I am going to provide one div element like this, and this div element will have the absolute position so that we can understand or create that, or we can change that pivot point or origin of that element. So, and I'm going to provide a name, a class over here. It is going to be my div, and here in my head tag, and I'm guessing that you are already familiar with that style.css, right? And we can write styles in our head tag, right? So I'll write a style over here like this, and then we need to close that tag, and inside this style I will define some CSS. So first of all I'll make this HTML and the body tag with the height of 100% so that we can get the whole screen's height. So 100% will be the height, and after that for body I'll take the position relative, because we need to provide this div's position as absolute, and this should work if the parent element's position is relative. So in this case the parent element is body element. Now I'll write the my div class which I have provided to this div, and here I am going to provide some properties like position, absolute, then of course we need the width and height. Width is going to be like 300 pixel, and also height should be the same. In this case you can select any width and height, that doesn't matter. And then we need to provide some, okay, let me first not provide any top or left value in this scenario. We'll provide them later after checking how this is looking. But to understand, we need to provide some background color. I'll take a background color which is anything from this. Okay, let it be coral for the moment. Now let's go back to our browser, and let me copy the name from here, and I'll open up my browser. And instead of index I'll paste the name. Now you can see this div is starting from the top left corner. Little bit difference in this top left because of the default margin by body, which you can see over here. Now if I provide some margin like 0, it will start from at the top and left corner. Yeah, and from this concept we can understand that the any elements origin starts from this top left corner. Alright. Now by default, if we are not providing any top or left value or right or bottom value, so any element which is having absolute position takes this top as 0 and left as 0. Now here what I am going to do, let's go back to code again and let's provide some value over here. So initially top is 0, which we have already seen. Now left is also 0, which we have also already seen. Now if I am telling you that let's make this div element in the center position of this whole screen size. So there are many ways to make this div element in center position, but one of the most famous ways or the preferred ways what most of the fresher developers or the newcomers or you can say the amateur developers prefer is to take it to the left as 50%. So I'll provide left 50% over here. Okay, I have not saved the previous file. Let's save it and let's go back to our browser, and I'll provide some left to 50% and then also top to 50%. Now you can see the top left corner of this div element is basically in the center position, so that the other area of this div or this square is starting from this center towards right and towards bottom. So for that most of the developers prefers to take a margin top in negative value. So I'll take a margin top. So we'll do the wrong way, or not wrong way, the amateur way, which is going to be minus half of the height, which is like 150 pixel, and then the margin left is again the negative of this width, which is 300 pixels, so 150 pixel. Now you can see it is coming in the center, and let me remove this margin 8 pixel. Alright, the scroll bar is also gone. Now as you can see, this is in the center position, right? But this pivot point is not in the center of this element. So if I change the width and height, it changed the positioning of center because we need to change the left margin left value again. So if we are creating some dynamic elements which are having some dynamic contents which can increase to 300 pixel to 600 pixel sometimes, so in that case we cannot just come back and change this margin top to another kind of value. We cannot do that. Even we cannot create such a function which will have multiple conditions. If the width is 300, then this margin top will be half of that, and we cannot do that. Also we can create some JavaScript stuffs over there, but in this topic we are not working with JavaScript. We are working with completely free of JavaScript, which helps the scripting languages. So for that I will go to my code editor again, and here I will change, here I will provide some more properties, and that will change this pivot point of this element to the center. Now let's type one more value over here, which is right is also 0 and bottom is also 0. Now you must be guessing that okay, we are done with this stuff. So let's go back to our browser and see what is happening. So nothing is happening till now. We have to provide some more attributes to our div element. Let's go back to our editor. First of all I need to let's clear this margin. So margin is basically 0. So now we have provided all the attributes to all the values like top, left, bottom and right to 0. Now we need to provide one more thing, which is margin to auto. Now this margin auto will make this elements pivot point to center. Now let's go back to our code editor browser again, and let's check what is happening. As you can see, this is now in center, totally centered from vertically and also horizontally. Now let's imagine the first step. If we have not provided any margin auto, if we increase the width, you can see it is starting from, it is moving towards the right. But with margin auto, what will happen is something different. Now let me increase the width from here. As you can see, it is increasing both the sides and calculating the same values, right? And even if even I increase the height, it is also increasing in both sides. So that is the kind of magic what we can do with our CSS stuff. Now if you are thinking that okay, let's keep it vertically center but align it to the left, so for that you need to do only one thing, that you have to provide this right from 0 to auto. So it will automatically come to the left, and increasing width will be like previous, only towards right. Now if you want to keep this to right, so for that you need to do is what I did. Okay, I need to type over here. You need to provide right 0 and left is auto. Now let's increase the width, so it is increasing towards left, right? And now the question is, if we provide both left and right auto, so in that case it will go to the left, because if two of these values are auto, by default it will take left as the primary value and right as the secondary value. Now same thing we can do with our top and bottom also. So let me provide top to auto. Now as you can see, you can make it deep to a right button kind of area. Now let me remove this left from auto to 0. Now our div element is always in the bottom but in the middle, which is horizontally middle area. So this is kind of stuff what we can really do. But what is the need of this kind of stuff? So one need you have already understood. If we are having dynamic content, then we can, and we also want our pop-up to be center aligned all the time. So for that we don't need to disturb our JavaScript, and we can simply create it with our CSS. Now there is one more stuff, one more interesting stuff. There are lots of interesting stuffs in CSS3 and HTML5 and JavaScript, but for this class I want to show you one more interesting stuff over here. So let's not go to our code editor. Let's create some let's provide some properties over here. So I'll simply change this height to like 200 pixel and width also 200, sorry, width also 200 pixel. Right now we don't need this auto for this moment. We can make it center, and also we want this to be in a round area, right? So I'll provide some border radius, which is basic knowledge of CSS. So border radius, always I prefer to provide 100% if we are making this any element round. So let's not be like so I have provided 100%, so it is like all this circle kind of stuff in my screen. Now what I want to provide another div inside this area, right? And let me copy this stuff over here, and I'll go to my code editor again and paste all the stuffs from my browser. Okay, now here I want to take one more div element, and I'll not provide any class. I will simply add the parent child class kind of concept. So it will take the initial div element for this arrow. I guess you know this idea, arrow or simple space. If space means all the div element inside this div element, like if you have other div elements inside that child, it will also take that div elements also and provide the values what we are providing in this area. But if I write simply this arrow, it will take only the first child, that is this child, and it can have siblings childs, that doesn't matter, but only the first childs will be affected, not the grandchilds in this scenario. So I'll take only the first child or the initial childs, and here I want to provide the same kind of attributes or properties over here, but the width is like 0. Alright, now the background color, what I want is something a little bit lighter to this coral, so I'll take something this kind of stuff, and then all the other elements will be like exact what it is, and then I want to provide some effect over here. We'll obviously discuss about these effects during these classes, and also we'll have a separate class for this animation and effects. So when we are hovering on the parent element, so I'll provide this hover over here, and then what I want to increase this width and height to something like 300 pixel, and also height is like okay, we'll provide only 200 pixel, and then we need to check the effect of here, but let me first go to our browser and check how it is happening. Let me refresh, and if I hover my mouse, it is simply just changing the color, but there is no effect. So for effect, we will use the CSS3 transition item or the transition property. We'll obviously discuss about these transitions in a different class, but for now we are just gathering some ideas what we can do with this centrally originated or center pivot point divs. So here I'll provide some effect, so I'll simply type transition, and that effect will be in this case to all means all the attributes. It is like a width and height also. For now we'll just remember that we are providing a transition to all attributes, and we are providing one time, so which is like 0 0.4 second, that is like milliseconds, 400, it's not 4 seconds but 400 milliseconds kind of stuff. And the effect is for the moment will be the ease effect. Okay, and now as you have provided this transition all, but what we are changing only width and height. If we provide any other attributes, that will also come in this all value, but for the moment we are just thinking about width and height. Now let's go back to our browser and let's see what we are seeing right now. We need to refresh it. Now as you can see, it is increasing from the bottom, from the center, and also decreasing to the center. So this is kind of effect. These are the kind of effects we can really create with this kind of element. But remember, if we don't have this center assignment, or the what we can see, the pivot point if not centered, we will not have this kind of effect. Let me check how. So I'll take this child div element, and I'll not provide any top left button or margin to auto. We'll simply provide as you can see, it is starting from the top left corner. Now some people will say, if we provide this element to the center position, what will happen? Now let's provide that. I will provide left like 50% and top also 50%, and then we need to provide width is like okay, margin top is like minus that, but in this case how we can do the minus? So let me just assume the future width will be like now if we are assuming this future width is going to be that 200 pixel, I'll simply type margin top to maybe negative 100 pixel, and then margin left to again negative 100 pixel. Now let's go over there. Okay, this is still not working, and if we change the remove this margin left or top, this is again starting from the top left corner of this div element, which we are not looking forward. So for that we will simply have this margin auto and top left like 0 and 0, and we'll have this effect. Now as you have understood that how this effect is coming and why the need of this center pivot point kind of stuff, now I will show you one more effect in this video which will really help you for future of your production. Like if you want to create some materialistic kind of design elements or UI, that will definitely help. So now what I want is, I want these div elements border radius to be like null, so I'll simply remove this border radius, and width is going to be like okay, width let it be like 200 and height is like 100 pixel, and here also we'll have this height like 100 pixel, but initially width is 0 and we are not changing height over here and we are only changing the width, and for that we will simply provide width instead of all, because we are not affecting these all attributes. And now let's go back to our browser. Let's check what is happening right now. Okay, this is not what we are looking. We are looking something else. Let's go back to our code And here we also don't need this margin auto for this div element. Let it be top left only, or okay, let it be with margin auto, and we'll provide right to auto so that it will start from this left. And then we don't need this border radius over here. Now let's go back to our browser and see what is happening. We have to refresh this. Alright, so most of the materials design what we are nowadays using, those all have this kind of effects. If we are clicking, we are having some kind of effect like this. So this kind of effect will definitely help you. So that is from the CSS part, where we change the origin or the pivot point to the center. Now what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you about the CSS3 stuff, where we can definitely change this origin with different kind of properties. I will discuss about that property in our next video, and till then, thanks for watching this video guys, and I really appreciate your presence for these classes. Thanks.